Photosynthesis, the process by which plants use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to create glucose and oxygen. The first reaction, the light-dependent reaction. The light-dependent reaction occurs inside the thylakoid, inside a chloroplast. It is made up of two photosystems, photosystem 2 and photosystem 1. Electrons get excited when chlorophyll molecules absorb photons of light. Electrons then leave photosystem 2 and needs to be replaced. This is when water is oxidized in the photolysis reaction to get more electrons for photosynthesis. During the process, oxygen is released to the atmosphere. Electron transport chains or ETC then carries the electrons and brings it to photosystem 1. During the process, proton pumps use energy to pump hydrogen into the thylakoid space. The process is then repeated in photosystem 1 and the re-excited molecules are eventually used to reduce NADP+ to NADPH. Hydrogen then moves down the gradient in a process called chemiosmosis through the ATP synthase channel. As hydrogen moves down, they drive ATP production. A thylakoid is made up of a thylakoid membrane and the thylakoid space. The outside part is what you call stroma. The next reaction is the light-independent reaction. This happens in the stroma. Glucose requires 6 total carbons and an independent cycle produces 1. That is why independent reaction cycles 6 times. This cycle is called the Calvin-Benson cycle. It has 3 stages: carbon fixation, reduction, and regeneration of RUBP. A single carbon atom enters the stroma that came from carbon dioxide. RUBP, which has 5 carbon molecules, bonds with the CO2 and creates a 6th carbon molecule, which is unstable. That is why they get split up to 2,3 carbon molecules called glycerate 3-phosphate. During the process of reduction, energy is used, so the energy of ATP and NADPH is used. On the 6th cycle, 6 carbons help form glucose that has a 6th stable carbon molecule. In one cycle, 1 carbon is used in the 6 molecules. The other 5 is used to regenerate RUBP. It gets the energy to do this from ATP. Overview: light-independent and dependent reactions occur in a chloroplast. Independent occurs in the stroma, while dependent occurs in a thylakoid. Water and carbon dioxide are inputs and comes from the atmosphere. Sunlight, ADP, and NADP helps the dependent cycle, while NADPH and ATP helps the Calvin-Benson cycle. After the reaction, the thylakoid creates oxygen, NADPH, and ATP as its outputs, and the Calvin-Benson cycle produces glucose, ADP, and NADP, and the cycle of photosynthesis continues forever.